Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Q Explainer. So guys, on this video I gonna tell you the TDD automation framework. So in this video I'll try to explain you the test-driven development framework, how this framework is useful in while you are writing that automation script, and how this framework is different from the different types of different automation and framework like Cucumber, BTD framework, like hybrid framework, and why this framework is purely a code focused framework that improves the efficiency, reliability, and maintainability for software related projects. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you that all those things. So let's start this video, guys. So before starting this video, let us understand what is test driven development. So this driven development is a term that is basically using for to focus that how development process is going as what way. So here we have like different types like red type, green type, and refactor type. So red type means the test is failing. So suppose some code already have been written. We need to check the desired functionality. So for that, if functionality is getting failed, so we can see this code is comes under red category. Similar things for green code implementation. Suppose once that code is passed at our test, that means this code is proper, and we can say this code is properly functional code. And another is refactor. So the refactor means like it is somehow it is you can say it is color must be amber, color must be orange, color must be yellow. So here the code need to be optimized, or that code need to be clean up, or some functions all is not used properly. So that thing need to be predefined and properly organized, or structural way is required. So this thing comes under test driven development. Okay. So this red green refactor cycle that encourage the development loops and continuous feedback. And so while you developers are started testing their code for that different kind of unit testing framework, so they can check that code probability and code you can say way of working and reliability of the code. Now, let's build a TDD automation framework skeleton. Okay. So, a TDD automation framework is actually a well-structured skeleton. So, main foundation is basically looking for consistency and efficiency. So, this framework, before starting creating this framework, first we need to utilize the project. We need to set up a core project structure and version control in GitHub, or different kind of version control repo that we are using, like Azure Git. So different kind of things we need to set up there. Once project got initialized, then we need to integrate the test runner class. Now different kind of test runner class already being available, like testing is a one kind of test runner class. Similarly, JUnit is a one kind of test runner class. So that is required. Once that is done, then we need to add the assertion library. Now assertion library, like different kind of assertion frameworks are available. Assertion framework like chai assertion library is available, like different kind of assertion part is available. So we need to import those assertion library and logger, so we can debug that our code. Once it is done, then we need to build that configure that enter build system. So first we need to automate the test complete compliance and different kind of execution with the different respective build tool. Need to add that I need to integrate the different tool like map and like different kind of tool like npm node. So it will be helpful for creating the TDD automation framework. Now, what is the key concept of the automation framework? So first key concept is test runner. That is a test runner class. What is going to be execute that our test script or test suite, like JUnit testing, G PyTest is there. So these all are comes under test runner. Another is assessment library, like different kind of assessment library, like expected assessment library versus actual outcome that we need to check. So for that we have answered check class, ham, ham crust. So different kind of assessment libraries are available. Similarly, mocking framework. So for isolating the unit test by simulating the dependency, so we can use the different kind of mocking framework. We can use that mocking API, mocking stuff for checking that API prospectively while writing the automation and a reporting tool. So different kind of reporting tools are there like extend report, allure report. Like in my previous project, I already showed you. I like already showed you how you can integrate that extend report on your automation framework. So this kind of reporting tool is needed. So these four things are a actually key component for TDD automation framework. Now, here I'm giving one example, basic example of TDD automation framework. See here what I did. So here I one calculator function is available. Now that we need to check that calculator function. How we can check? So we can use that test runner class, and here we can create. We can check that like outcome of our calculator function result. So that how we can create TDD automation script. I'll show you more detailed way. Now, before showing that more detailed way, let me tell you that a framework folder structure. So the framework folder structure is quite easy. So first thing is our root directory. That is a folder where that all framework related files are available. That is called root directory. src main. If you are using the Java on the time, we need to use src main where that all main application source code will be available there. src test where that main test scripts are available, and that is being linking to that our main code, main source code. And then src test resources where that test data is there, configuration file is there like JSON property file, everything comes under test resources file. And then we have a lib or vendor file, that is an optional file. So suppose if you want to import that external dependency of that different kind of tools on the time, we just need this lib and vendor. And if it is not required, then we don't need to use it. Another is build configuration. If we are using Maven, then we need pom.xml file, or if we are using Gradle, so for that build.gradle file is required, where that we are using dependencies, plugin, like build, like lifecycle thing, tagging, everything we can do it here. And another thing is report, where that all reports will be available, and utilities and helper. That folder is contain morely that morely for module and reusable function, and some base class, some thing that already be like used for every test. This is like some common entity, some shared test suite. So everything comes under utility and helper file. So this is that overall for folder structure, and this is varies. By the way, this is varies from different tool. Like if we are going from Playwright TDD automation framework, there it is totally different. There it is like little bit difficult. So their package.json is there. So from package.json is actually a dependency kind of thing, where that we are adding that all dependencies there. Now, what is the benefit for using TDD automation framework? Now, benefit is that first it improves the code quality, because TDD automation is fully focused on that coding thing. So here we are writing that all thing in a proper code structure way. And that is early bug detection. Here we can detect bug earlier, and it is very fast. So basically that is a nice thing. Another is it is maintainability. So here we can maintain that our code, and so it is very easier to understand and modify, and we can improve that our code properly. Now, some popular TDD automation framework in Java is JUnit. Another is TestNG. So TestNG is the most advanced framework, and data-driven testing panel like JDusan is available. So this all comes under TDD automation framework. Mockito is another kind of TDD automation framework. Another is Spring Test. Now that is a specialization for Spring related application or Spring Boot application. So these all are some most popular TDD automation framework, guys. For Python, we have PyTest and Unit Test and Mock and Robot Framework. So this four is basically a like most popular framework for TDD automation in Python. Now, how we can implement the TDD automation framework? What is the best practices? First thing is that we need to start focusing a simple test cases. So, and that our objective should be clear. Once it is done, then we need to write a proper description. So, while writing the test suite or test cases, we need to maintain the proper description so that anybody can add it and anybody can understand it. Another is we need to add meaningful assertion, like different kind of assertion we can add for validating that our test suite, but the meaningful assertion is a different part of it. So if we are using meaningful assertion, so for that it will be that test automation framework will be so, very useful and very easy to understand. Anybody can use it, and the test calling is very less and also understandable, and adding a new thing will be very easy there. And another is independent test. Every test should be isolated from each other. So from like in now different kind of test suits inside the test suits, different kind of test cases are there. Every cases should be isolated and it should be repeatable, and so for that it will improve the reliability of that our automation framework. And that is CI/CD integration. Once everything got done, then we need to integrate that CI/CD and browser automation. So for that, we can use CI/CD pipeline tools like Jenkins or Docker. So for that, we can integrate the CI/CD thing.